Hey guys, Lawa-Na McClellan here with Lawa-Na Co at Keller Williams. I'm here with my trusted lending partner, Scott Mertens with Luminate Bank, and we are here to give you another update in Clarity in Housing.
Let's do it. We're keeping it rolling, right?
Yeah.
We haven't done this since Cinco de Mayo. Finally over my hangover. Thank you. Too many margaritas in too many states. But where are we today?
We are in Rollinsford, New Hampshire, and today our update is going to bring you to two states. We are focusing on Rollinsford, New Hampshire and South Berwick, Maine, because they kind of go together.
They do. You know, interesting. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in detail, but Rollinsford kids go to school in Maine, so you get access to some of those communities. And the best part about being here is right here, this little spot that we're going to chat at, the Shanty. Have you been here before?
I have, and I know the owner well, Joe Scarletto. I'll just give you a little plug. Good job. And the manager, Missy Hathaway, is amazing. This is the local watering hole community right in the heart of these two places that we're going to tell you all about today, and amazing food. So let's go in and
let's get our eat on. You can't have gummies without beer. It's just like a thing. Hey gang, this is Scott Mertens over here. I'm at the Shanty today and we're visiting with Suzanne, who not only works here but lives in South Berwick. So tell me, what do you love about living in South Berwick?
I love living in South Berwick because it's close to everything.
Yep.
It's like 20-minute ride right into downtown Portsmouth. You can hit any like stuff at Prescott Park, any of that stuff. Dover is super, super close, which is also a really great neighborhood. And then I have two teenage boys that can jump right on 95, shoot up and be at Sunday River quickly so they can do like their little snowboarding, skiing stuff.
I love it. Okay, so you live in South Berwick, you work in Rollinsford.
Yes.
What do you love about working at the Shanty in Rollinsford?
So Rollinsford is only 6 minutes from South Berwick, so it's super, super close.
Okay.
And this bar particularly is a local hangout. A lot of locals are here. Everybody knows each other. The energy is great. It's a family sport bar. We have once a year we do a huge party for all the locals. Everybody comes. It's
Perfect.
Just a great environment for everybody.
Okay, your favorite thing on the menu?
I'm a New Yorker and I love our pizza. We have awesome pizza.
Okay.
It's the best pizza I've had on the Seacoast since I've been here.
Wow.
For people love our burgers, and ironically they love anything haddock. So our baked haddock is a huge seller, fish and chips is a huge seller.
Love it. Okay, that's the #1 seller here. What about the gumbies? I thought it was the gumbies.
No, it's not.
All
it's
right.
not. People do the haddock.
Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate you visiting with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody come check out the Shanty in Rollinsford. It's amazing. I'm leaving very full and my wallet's still kind of feeling good, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
I hope I have 25% of that.
That was awesome.
All right, so out of Rollinsford and into South Berwick. It took us about 5 minutes to get here.
Yep.
And this cute little downtown, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's so sweet. There's this one little market here, Nature's Way, that I'm obsessed with. If I'm ever scooting through South Berwick, I always stop and get a sandwich and get a few other things. But what do you know about South Berwick?
I love South Berwick. My two nieces both live in this town. You sold both their houses.
I heard it.
There's a couple of great housing communities here like Old Mill and Egomenicus Estate. So there's still a pretty decent price point to get into South Berwick, even with all the amenities it has, the proximity to the Seacoast and everything else that's around. Golf, the links at Outlook.
My new favorite thing.
Yes, it's awesome. You know, we're gonna do our market update from Vaughan Woods, which is just an amazing outdoor area. Powder House Ski Hill, which is great. This building right here, actually, we just financed the purchase of this one. So if you're looking for commercial financing, we can help that with you too. But you know, this downtown area has nice commercial on the lower level, resident on the upper level, and just really easy to get everywhere from here.
It's so quaint, like it's so cute. It's very tight. You know, you've got cute little shops, you've got cute little restaurants, you've got chiropractic care, you have pizza shops. I mean, there's coffee shops, whatever you need, and it's so convenient. This is like a little joint to Somersworth, Berwick, Rollinsford, Dover.
The York beaches, pretty easy.
North Berwick.
Yeah.
It's a great spot to live and very desirable schools. Everybody, this is a family community.
You can see it, you can feel it. The trick-or-treating is crazy around here. You know, I mean, They don't carry little baskets anymore. They go out with like pillowcases and garbage bags in some of these communities because that's what they're pulling in for loot. So
when I think of South Berwick, I think of just like country chic.
I like that.
Yeah,
country
and there's
chic.
like a little strawberry festival happening here in another couple weeks. And they always put American flags up everywhere, like during the 4th. Like, it's just very sweet.
I love it.
Very
It's
sweet.
a great community, guys. Check it out if you have interest in looking at Maine as a possibility for you.
So here we are at Vaughan Woods. We're going to give you your market update for not just South Berwick, where this is located, but Rollinsford, New Hampshire also. And presently what we have on the market in South Berwick is approximately 16 active listings, and Rollinsford about 8. Average days on market, 25 in Rollinsford,
Yep.
45 in South Berwick, and the median is around $500,000 in both.
Yeah.
So very comparable, very constrained on inventory.
Yeah.
Both very desirable places to be. When I'm working with buyers and they're considering Marshwood as an option, and that's where they desire for their kids to go,
Yep.
I always make sure to show them both, New Hampshire option and Maine option.
I think that's kind of what's unique about these two communities. Yes, they're sister communities. Yes, they're divided by a state line, but they share the same middle school and elementary school. And Marshwood's probably one of the best, I would say,
Yeah,
in Maine.
absolutely.
When you look at the data.
Rollinsford has their own elementary school, so their kids stay in their elementary school until 6th, and then they graduate into the Marshwood Middle School into 7th grade.
So interesting disparity between time on market, 25 days versus 45 days. We didn't get a chance to really dive into that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe Maine lenders are just slower than New Hampshire lenders. I don't know. A little jab.
You would say that. You
Of
would
course I
say
would.
something like that.
The other thing that's interesting is when we're dealing with that clientele that's kind of thinking about closing in New Hampshire or closing in Maine, pretty distinct difference in closing costs.
Absolutely.
In the
So
two states.
New Hampshire is $15 per 1,000 of the purchase price,
Yeah.
which is divided in half, and buyer and seller each pay
$7.50 buyer,
$7.50.
$7.50 seller.
In Maine, it's $2.20.
Yep.
And so, that's
So you've got that
huge
piece that affects the
difference.
closing cost, and then remember, gang, New Hampshire has no income tax and no sales tax. So we derive the majority of the revenue from property
And
tax.
it's $2.20 per 500. Let me be clear.
Yeah, or $2.20
Just split
per
each.
1,000 for the
Yeah.
buyer versus $7.50.
I didn't want any confusion around that.
Yeah, that's why you have us. We'll make sure to resolve any of that confusion. The other thing is you have to prepay property taxes. And in New Hampshire, in Rollinsford, I'm going to say at $500,000, the median tax is probably about $9,000 a year, so 6 months of property taxes is $4,500. South Berwick, believe it or not, has pretty high property taxes as a Maine community. It's one of the higher ones, but it's because it has all the services. It has great spaces like this, has excellent schools. Maybe the similar price home's about $6,000 a year, so you're looking at $3,000 in property taxes versus $4,500.
I mean, we're working with a buyer right now who's looking at Maine options and New Hampshire
Yep.
options, and you just priced out, gave them a new pre-approval on a New Hampshire one on Sunday, which they're realizing they can afford so much more in Maine.
Yeah, and so, that tax thing, it always comes up, and they're like, well, where do I buy? That's a question for your CPA. Yes, we can help guide you for that. My
We can
general
guide you
rule,
to a CPA.
if you're thinking about both, if you are a high wage earner and you want to buy a modest home, generally New Hampshire works out better because you can control your tax exposure with uncapped income potential. In Maine, if you're in that moderate to medium high income and you really want to have a beautiful place, sometimes it makes more sense in Maine. So that's sort of like the general rule, if you will. There's obviously unique characteristics to all our profiles, but sort of what we talk about. But just these two communities have so much in common with the services shared, the location, the proximity to the Seacoast, how easy it is to get everywhere, great downtowns like we talked about.
Very family
excellent
oriented.
restaurants.
Yeah, options for exploring the outdoors, the great community, and different, events that happen. I mean, you're close to Dover, so that's like your larger
That's your hub.
city
Yeah.
hub. And so I just think that these are just both great options. You're near the rivers, there's a lot to love about.
Yeah, Rollinsford is always extremely limited inventory. There's only 2,600 residents.
Yeah, and 8,000 in South
8,000
Berwick.
in South Berwick,
Yeah.
so you're going to get a little bit more. Maybe you see a little bit more inventory, and that might create some of that lag in closing timelines, that kind of thing. But Can't go wrong.
But for people who are used to city living and then they're just looking for a little more green space and they're like, what about this as an option? What I've seen is that they feel like they're going to feel isolated, but you're not. You're 6 minutes to Dover.
Yeah.
Like you're so close to not feeling isolated that if you feel isolated, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. This is our June update. You know, June is generally our busiest month. I'm sure it's busy for you. What are you seeing as far as Seacoast market overall, not just specific to South Berwick and Rollinsford?
I think in general, like it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell and buy. You know, there's definitely a little bit change in pace, as we've been continuing to say.
Yep.
You know, inventory still is an issue. We definitely are limited on inventory. However, we've seen an uptick, but buyers are definitely taking their time before they just jump on things. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, we're seeing that a little bit. We're pre-approving a lot of people that maybe are taking their time, you know, trying to still look for a bargain, guys. Not in the Seacoast. We don't have a lot of bargains.
There's not bargains.
Our list price to sale ratio is still above 98%, so we're not seeing a lot of negotiation on price. You know, you can open up that national media in here for the first time in forever. We're going to see a year-over-year price decline for existing home sales, but that's a national number, okay? Yes, the West is a little bit weak. Some of those hyper markets in Florida have come down, you know, 7%, 8%. Tampa, Cape Coral, some of the other communities there, but in New Hampshire,
that's a different beast.
It's totally different.
It's completely different, and especially hyper local to our Seacoast region. Like you are not. That is not a reality.
We're still mid-single digits year-over-year home price appreciation. That's what we're seeing. You know, for buyers, the Iran thing really kind of rocked the rate market. Okay. The other thing that we had is we just had a new Fed chair that was installed, Kevin Warsh. Rumor is he's a bit of a hawk when it comes to deficit spending, which is usually not good for interest rates. But his overall economic policies are really good pro-housing. The other thing you probably just heard that the Senate ratified that housing bill. It sounds great if you're in the market, right? Invitation Homes, BlackRock, they're not going to be able to buy houses anymore, and that's going to make so many more for individual consumers. Gang,
they've already scooped so many.
And they only own like 2%. So is it going to help? It will.
It will, but
it's not the panacea that everybody's making it out to be.
Yeah, and that's not like, that's the headline, right?
Yeah.
The headline, you know, excitement that everyone thinks, oh, that's going to change
And they're
everything.
not in our market either. They're buying out communities in Arizona, California, Texas, you know, the Sun Belt states.
I think the bottom line is this. Identify the property, identify the location, the community where you want to be. Work with local professionals that know the market, know the inventory, know how to move and groove in these communities and in this market, and then make that move. Date the rate, refinance later, you know, everything ebbs and flows, and you have professionals that are hyper local working in your favor to position you and your family in a good situation for yourselves.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world to have accurate information local to your market and understand your finance, right? Talk to us first. Let's get that pre-approval. Let's establish those expectations for down payment, monthly payment, closing costs. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to in the last 6 or 8 weeks that have told me nobody's ever had this conversation with us. They just say, here's your cash due at close and here's your monthly payment.
I can't with that.
Just can't do that. You want to understand what's happening.
Yes, always, always, always consult with your buyer. If your agent's not consulting with you and really like diving deep with you and learning what it is you need, you should probably interview some other agents. If they're not putting you to the right local lenders that are going to educate you and not just give you a pre-approval letter, and you're just floating through the process and you don't know what you're doing, you're not in great hands.
That should be a red light. What's happening? If you're asking constantly what's happening, then somebody hasn't prepared you.
Correct.
Yeah. So stay tuned to this program. Get specific information. Scott Mertens, Luminate Home Loans, Lawa-Na McClellan, Lawa-Na Co at Keller Williams.
Scott.
Got it. Thanks, guys.